Well, I'm going to readjust this turnbuckle because this fence is sagging a little bit. Actually, what happened is, I don't really have this around here that tight. You can see that. And the way this works is, now to loosen it, it screws out. One's like reverse threads. You see how loose this gets? And it's just a some wire. It's just some plain old freaking wire. It's nothing special. Sometimes I usually use cables if I'm doing a better job on it. I'll show you what I did on the gate. I know some people gig me on this gate. They said it didn't look that good or something. This fence is actually for the cat, so you can see it's got nice and loose. So I'm going to tighten that down and we'll turn the turnbuckle. But I did this on these gates here. And here we have the turnbuckle. And this never really came loose. I think I tightened this up one time a little bit. It's been there 3 years. This gate hasn't sagged. But this is with a cable, and it's got extra U-bolts holding the cable. So I got 3 of them on here and 2 down there. So actually this doesn't even look too bad. See, you got this, it's like a stop, and you close this, and it actually doesn't even look that bad. It's my opinion. Some people say it looks like shit. I'm like, on the line, but it really doesn't look bad to me. It really doesn't look bad. I mean, it's a little off. Where the gate closes, it's like one side's a little, maybe 2 inches higher than the other. But I mean, it's fine. It doesn't, it swings in and out fine. There's no problem with it. I did that 3 years ago. And all I did was cut a fence and just took a couple feet off of a regular 8-foot section of board-on-board fence. Didn't even reinforce it or nothing. I just used some big heavy-duty hinges. You can see over here there's 1, 2, 3. But what kept the gate from sagging was that cable right there. And if it gets to sag, I got all this right here, all these threads and all these threads. You just turn it, turn it this way. It'll tighten it up. It'll bring it up off the ground. But I've never had any problem with it rubbing the ground. This has been on here 3 years. I know some people are saying it wasn't a great job, and I'm saying, oh, the damn thing's still working, right? So getting back to the other gate, that wasn't really done. That was done pretty fast. That was just for the cat. We're just gonna tighten it up. But these things you don't need to make the gate that strong when you have these. And actually, these tend to pull. If you have them on one side, they tend to pull the side out where it is, down there on the bottom. It'll tend to pull it out this way, towards that way. So actually, if you put one on each side, maybe you look stupid because you'll see it on the outside, but that'll keep the even tension on it. It'll just keep it up, and it'll pull, that way and this way. So this side pulls this way. So if you had one on the opposite side, it would pull that way. So that would keep it from like bowing. But it turns out that it works out better like that because when it closes, this gate is a little bit inward and it just overlaps it, so it works fine. It works out fine. I don't know. Freaking thing's been there 3 years. It's probably in the last freaking 20, 30 years more. Some of these people tell me, it's like, you can always do something better for like 20 times the money, right? And that's just not my style. I mean, why the hell would you want to do all it? Go to the town like that, and when you can, that didn't take me that long to do. This didn't take me long to do this. These have got some really cheap brackets on here, and it's only designed to keep Mr. Putin and Meow Meow in there, Mr. Cat. He's got this. I got this up here so you can't scratch through it, And I usually watch him when he's inside. He's like jumping around in his little cat tower. So I'm just going to bring this wire closer, and you can see this rubs, right? So when we tighten up the turnbuckle, that's going to pull that whole thing up. Well, I just shortened up this chicken wire, whatever you want to call it, turn the turnbuckle tighter, and then you can see down here, doesn't hit nothing. Of course, I took the shovel and I kind of scooped the dirt away. So there you go, right? Opens fine. Of course, there's a little pile of dirt right here. Put this out of the way. You need to open it up wider. Yeah. There you go. So there it is. And got a little latch up here. Yeah. Right up here someplace. Oh, it's probably turned. That's it. That's it. Yeah, right there. That's it. Good as new. Took 2 minutes. That's why these things are good, man. I don't know why people don't use them like on gates quite a bit more often, because you know we see these sagging gates all the time. Now, with this type of gate, it's all welded steel. So what you do when this thing sags, all you got to do is lift it up right here, just on both these, especially the bottom hinge, and bring it up here. You know, this one's dragging just a hair. Well, you know what it is. The tree root, one of the tree roots brought that block up just a hair, so it really doesn't drag except for right here. Probably leave it alone. Just kind of touches. See? Not much. It's still fine. But what I did with this one, now obviously if you gotta, you know, fix this one, you just lift up the hinges because it's all welded. But another thing, just kind of point out something else. You know, they got these bullshit bars they stick in the ground. Now you could put a pipe down there to kind of, but you know, always, even if you put a pipe down there where these stick in, it gets filled up with dirt. What I did was I ground this into a tip, like a point, instead of it being like, it's like a screwdriver point. So instead of it being like a flat, just a flat rod on the bottom, it's a screwdriver point. So like, even if I had a, what do you call it, a pipe down there and it got filled up with dirt, I could do is take this and go like this. This is a screwdriver point, remount the dirt, because otherwise the handle winds up being up here, and if it's just a flat like steel rod, if you're trying to turn it like that, it's not digging into the earth. But if it's like a screwdriver point, I can get it to go down far, and it holds it tight. So just a little fence tip. I mean, I put these fences up myself, and actually when I put the green one up way out there, I actually used my Jeep and some rope, and you know, with the come along, but also the Jeep, just put it in like low, let it idle, and got it nice and taut all the way down. That was another thing too. That's how you pull them. Actually, it's a lot easier to use the Jeep than it is to use the come along, because you got some place to attach it to. You just drive it out here, and you go about 15 feet. You attach to about 4 points along there, and you just pull that whole thing. That's how I did it. Jeep is pretty handy, man, because you could drive anywhere you want. I mean, a car, you would try to do that with a car, you'll probably fall down in there and bottom out. With the Jeep, no problem. A little Suzuki. Well, it's a Suzuki. You know, I call it a Jeep because it's basically a copy of a Willys, the original Jeep. It's probably more Jeep. Yeah, I think Suzuki just copied that damn thing. That's to tell you the truth. They really just lifted the blueprints right off the original Willys. So anyway, that's my fence updates. And you know, it doesn't take much to freaking fix this stuff up, to tell you the truth. Not a lot of maintenance, but if you keep after it, you run into a lot less problems. Little simple stuff, right? Little simple stuff like those turnbuckles might cost you $3, $4, $5 tops, even for a real heavy duty one. Doesn't take too much.